Yay! That went out pretty well. I need a soundboard.
One day you'll get one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Dames and Dorks, hosted by the Inside All Day podcast, also simulcasting on Nomi's channel as well. I'm Nadia, player 1 of Inside All Day, and I'm so happy for everybody to join us tonight for a spectacular evening. I'm joined, as always, by some pretty cool dames. Before I get into the introductions, just want to remind everybody, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button for all future episodes of D&D, as I call it, or Dames and Dorks. On that note, Lily, you're first up. Tell the people who you are.
Hey guys, so I'm over there on Twitter, 300 Mares. I do not have a YouTube channel, but all of these other lovely ladies do, so go subscribe to them and follow them on Twitter. Everybody puts out some really cool content. Everybody's got a lot of really cool things to say, so yes, go follow all of them.
Mags, tell the people with your cat ears who you are.
Meow.
Okay.
Meow. I even have a cat shirt on with the so hello everybody. I'm Magitech Mags. You can find me everywhere all at once. Sometimes it feels like 24/7. But yes, go check out all of these ladies. We're wonderful voices in the fandom and contribute a lot to the space in general. From creative cosplays like Dr. Rachel Lindbergh and everybody else in between. So yes, come check us out. And yeah, we're here to have a spooktacular time.
Nomi, racing Nomi, as I like to call her. Always racing to our next destination. Are you in armor?
Yes, are you wearing your cartoon?
He's Cara Dune.
This is what I can do right now on a short notice that I am Cara Dune.
That's okay. We all have lives.
Yeah, your girl had.
Oh no, me.
No.
Oh
No, me.
What?
Oh, you froze. You froze. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. No. Crisis has not been
Well, we got the no.
So the person Mags has now come on to me.
I know. It's a curse.
Yeah.
Every week somebody has to have the
If you can hear
curse.
me now-
Exactly.
Okay, if you can hear me now, I was busy just, doing martial things, but I'm here. I'm Nomi without you. I'm live. Come through, and I'm still breaking up, am I?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, you're good.
You're
can
fine.
hear you.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm all good.
Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, isn't it crazy? Just the top of the armor, we all knew who she was. That was it. That's how iconic it is.
Well, I mean, she Nami looks exactly like Cara Dune. So
That could be your Halloween costume. Dr. Rachel, go ahead, Doctor.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Rachel. Be sure to follow all these wonderful ladies on all their socials and check out their channels. Check out mine as well, Adeline Crafting. I actually have a video premiering tomorrow. I finally got done after like 3 months. I'm not in a costume like Nomi right now, but I've got, I totally didn't spend like 10 minutes in a mirror doodling this thing on my face.
Hey,
That's about what I've got for now.
Costumes are next episode. Don't worry about it. Costumes are next episode.
Yep, I'm saving the costumes for next episode. Yeah. But yeah, excited. We got a lot of good topics to break into for the start of spooky season. So I'm excited to get into some of these.
Dr. Rachel, anytime I meet somebody outside who watched the show, like my family, they go, is she really a doctor? I'm like, yes, she's really a doctor.
Yes, by the way, I am actually a doctor as of May 2020. I have my PhD. I promise you.
I'm like a doctor in 2020.
A woman doctor, never.
You're breaking the glass ceiling there, Dr. Rachel.
I'm trying. There's a lot of shards coming down, though.
All right. So we got some fun topics to talk about. I think it's going to be a pretty chilled stream today. Just kind of amping up for Halloween. Halloween is probably, I don't know about you ladies, but probably one of my favorite holidays. I sometimes feel like Christmas, but then but then Halloween happens, and I'm like, oh, no, I think it's Halloween.
But like
Christmas comes.
Here's the thing, like Thanksgiving definitely gets overlooked because there's Halloween and then Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
Like Thanksgiving is the LMNOP of holidays because it just gets blown up.
Yeah. Oh, Thanksgiving, maybe that will take the cake because I do love to eat, and I do love to eat fat, and I like to wear stretchy pants and watch football and just chill out.
It's a good thing to do.
Yes.
I remember as a kid, we used to always have to dress up for Thanksgiving to go over to our aunts and uncles' houses. When I hit teens and adults, I'm like, why? We're all gonna overeat. Why do we have to be uncomfortable in like dresses and tights and stuff? Why can't I just wear sweatpants?
That's fair.
Before we get into our topics, I'm gonna say hello. Well, we'll say hello to the chat. I have Mandy Care.
Yeah, that's love or we just call him Carrie.
Okay. Keep fighting. I don't know what we're fighting. But okay.
The system.
When
in doubt, it's the
Everything.
The patriarchy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think also
Cappuccino.
Cavalry Man Che.
Like-
Hey Che.
Like cappuccino, but Cavatino.
Cavatino.
I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
I like it. Hello, Dr. Rachel's in the house. Comics and Danny. Yay! Danny's gonna actually be on our next episode, which will be awesome. I'm excited to see what kind of makeup or costume that she's going to be putting on together. Here's another one. Arc a Soul.
Cool.
I just call him Arc. Hey, Arc.
Wait.
Arc
How do you say it? Just Arc?
Arc is cool,
Arc,
but we call him Arc. Yeah.
All right. Everybody should know by now English is not my first language, and I don't know how to pronounce names. But in fair, people don't know how to pronounce my name correctly. Clifton.
Hi, Clifton.
And we got Renegade. See,
Dengar.
I'm getting better.
Hey, Dengar.
Dengar Renegade.
I mean, Renegade is the other part of the name, all right. Mr. Tickle Trunk, as always, one of our awesome mods in it. And then we have Mongoose.
Psychotic Mongoose. Yeah.
Look how I was like, Lily's like, I was real careful with that. I was like, okay.
It's a funny name.
Hey,
How do you say this? How do you say SMU? How do you
It's
pronounce
Smoo. Smoo the DJ.
it?
Yeah.
Smoothing out. Okay.
Yeah.
Smoothing out. Oh, Mr. R2's here.
Hi, R2.
Mrs. R2. I said Mr. R2. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
Mr.
Mrs. R2. The better half is here. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Archie can pass as a woman too. So yeah.
What is this one?
Oh my god.
Peter Stormis. I like his name though.
Thank you, Hatasaurus.
From Union Man.
Oh my god.
That's so
I
funny.
think all the names are great tonight.
No, these are fantastic. Let's see. Oh, we got Gravy D.
So creative.
Hey, Gravy.
Gravy.
Hi, Gravy.
Farnsworth,
Hey,
which I've never
Farnsworth.
ever seen. What's that show?
Futurama.
Futurama.
Never
Futurama.
seen it.
Oh, that's a good show.
I
I've
refuse.
been binging it. I
refuse.
really like it.
I refuse. I won't, because of the dog episode. I've never seen it. I don't know what it contains, but I know it's really sad, and I have dogs, and I don't want to be sad as well. I know it's great.
They have a lot of like pretty. They dig into some really deep stuff sometimes. They really
dark
do.
stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Nope. Pass. Hard pass on that. Sorry, guys. I'm all about it. Maybe if I don't have dogs one day. I don't know. Anyway, so our first topic is everyone's topic lately. That I have no idea how Ahsoka ended or how things are going. So I'm going to leave this to our Star Wars experts. With it today. Sorry, everybody. Disney Star Wars. So I just titled it Disney Star Wars because it's going to lead into another topic we have. But Lily, Mags, you got Mags, especially, you've been following the box office. Lily too, as well, viewer count. Take it away. How did Ahsoka end, and are you sad?
Well, Ahsoka, what can I say about the show? I guess it was supposed to go out with like this big old huge ending, and it was supposed to be super cool, and I don't know, it just kind of just meh. It just kind of whatever. It fell off for me. I really didn't like it. The only episode I liked was where Anakin was back, and that's about it. Everything else is kind of a mess. There's a lot of things to kind of look at. Well, when you compare it to the books, if you've read Heir to the Empire, then you know this isn't even going to come close to it. So if you thought it was going to be that, it's not even a knockoff version. It's not even the Wish version or the Temu
It's
version
the knockoff of the knockoff.
yeah, it's like it's like
my clips. I like them, and my hand that is just sitting there.
It's like a knockoff of everything. Like it just wasn't good. But yeah, the numbers proved it. So as Mags is gonna talk about.
Yeah, viewer count, Mags. I heard it was in the
I'm like I'm not good at girl math. So
Well, apparently from its original premiere, it went from, I mean, remember when Disney came out and said, 14 million people watched the premiere or whatever, and like everybody was going, really? That's kind of like a Pinocchio moment there. Yeah, really? But it ended up being from the Samba ratings recently. I think it was like 153,000 seeing this last episode. So when you think about the numbers of subscribers of Disney Plus versus the people that last saw the number of people viewing the last episode of the show itself, that's not a really good percentage at all.
Yeah, no.
And
that's a big drop.
It was a significant drop. I think it was at the original Nielsen numbers or something like that came out, even said that it was like 1.2 million from the first premiere or some it was really significantly low than what Disney was advertising, and we know how they've been falsely advertising things lately, but the Nielsen ratings don't lie either, and Ahsoka wasn't even in the top 10 even the first couple of weeks. It was nowhere near in sight. In fact, it was a old show that was running on reruns on Netflix called Suits that took the top spot. So that tells you something right there, that people are not interested in any of this new stuff anymore. And of course, One Piece was like in the top 5 somewhere. So it was clear, clearly audiences are picking up quality of content versus very meh level of content, and Disney needs a little help with that. So the show itself was kind of meh, but I'm like, nobody will understand unless they've seen the Clone Wars or Rebels. And I'm sorry, but a general audience does not want to see extra additional add-ons to every little thing to be able to get into a show or a movie to be able to understand the premise. That is up to the writers themselves to really give you a good backstory to say, hey, even though these characters have been around, to really introduce them to a wider range of a group of people. So they really kind of failed in that regard, in my opinion. But I don't think it was necessarily terrible. I don't think, because we've seen worse. I feel like we've seen worse, but that's just my opinion. But I don't think it was. I think it seemed like it was 8 or 9 episodes that should have been 4, because there was a lot of standing around and staring and everything else, and it feels like I don't know, Lily, maybe you can piggyback off of this or something, but it felt like at the end, because I watched the last episode today to be able to go into it fresh, it made it sound like Thrawn and gosh, I'm not good at names, Ezra are now part of the Star Wars timeline, whereas Ahsoka and Sabine are off and going to be having their own timeline somewhere else in the outskirts of who knows where beyond the Outer Rim. So it just seems like they were trying to create something there, but I'm like, are they even going to come back? Because it seems like they're not going to come back at all. So it's like, what is going on here? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that was super confusing. I actually don't even know what's going on with that, because it did make it seem like they're going for like two different universes, like they're having their own little multiverse.
Like a split.
Yeah. So I guess now Ahsoka's trapped there with Sabine, but Ezra's going back with Thrawn, and they're gonna be part of like the Mandoverse and this big old thing. If you guys are holding your breath for a Filoni movie, it's not gonna happen. Sorry.
Well, there's even stuff I saw online, some rumors or whatever, that doesn't seem like it's going well at Lucasfilm at the moment. I think there's some talkings going on, and it doesn't seem like Filoni may be getting his Mandoverse type movie. So, but that's just inklings and whatever's being, trickled down to us, the public. So
it's interesting to me because I've checked out since Mando
season 3.
I did watch Book of Boba, but mostly for Mando, which I count that actually as season 3 for Mando, the last episode.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't watch Kenobi. I didn't watch what else has been out. I watched only like a few episodes of Ahsoka, so I'm not hip to it. But it's interesting to me because Lily, you keep bringing up these books, so they actually have like source material that they can put on screen that would make fans happy, or majority of fans happy, because I know some people did actually enjoy Ahsoka for what it is. There's always going to be fans on each side, but it's interesting to me that they didn't follow their own IP universe. They wanted to kind of scratch completely, if this is how my understanding of it, and just completely build off Disney Star Wars, off characters that are known, instead of maybe introducing newer characters, maybe taking different storylines that are part of this vast universe. Am I correct in this?
Yeah. So like two things to that. I kind of liked that at the beginning, The Mandalorian was kind of its own thing and it wasn't connected to everything else. It was just like its own standalone thing. If you didn't really like the whole big universe of Star Wars, you didn't want to watch the entire thing and understand everything that was happening, this was a really good show, kind of like a starting point for you. Because of course it had the draw with The Mandalorian. You're like, ooh, this is a character we've never seen before. So you don't have to worry about going back and reading all these things. And then of course you've got Grogu, who's like super cute. So it was a cool show that should have been like its own thing. And then they started to bring in all the characters from like the worlds that we now know. And that's where I think they messed it up. But the thing is, I think they I don't know, I think they pulled a Barbie. They pulled you in with Mando, and then they wanted you to like stick around for all of the other shows that were going to branch off to that. And that's where I think they lost a lot of people, because a lot of people are now like, what happened to Mando? Like, why do we have all of a sudden what's her face? I don't even remember her name anymore.
Well, and it's difficult because Star Wars as a franchise is mainly set up as a movie-based franchise.
Oh, never would have thought of that, man.
And then
whereas like Lord of the Rings is literally the books, and then it's everything else beyond that. So you have to kind of look at it from those perspectives. Yeah. And so for the most part,
you just blew my mind right now. I never would have looked at it from perspective.
It's mainly,
and then like
it's a 6.
And then the other thing that I was gonna say, like real quick, sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead.
So that was like the thing with the Mandoverse, right? But then I was gonna say about the books is, yes, they do have all the source material with it, but they don't like the original trilogy characters is the thing. If you kind of go back and dig into the things that have come out of Lucasfilm, they don't like those characters. They called them cobwebbed. They have pictures of Luke Skywalker with his face X'd out.
And this is Disney.
Yeah,
Disney
this is Disney. Yeah. This is Disney Lucasfilm. They don't like these characters. So that's why they're taking all this source material that they have from the books that was actually good, and they're taking out those original trilogy characters and inserting Dave Filoni's characters into these stories. So that's what's happening. Sorry.
What do you think, Dr. Rachel and Cara Dune? Or Cara Dune, way.
However you want to pronounce it. Yeah, I haven't been watching Ahsoka because of just like how terrible it is. So like, why would I follow a series that's not going to follow like anybody else? Because I'm more of like something like it has to like link to each other in order for me to like be engaged with that. Obvious reasons why I don't watch it because I know my girl's not going to be there anymore. But I'm trying to remember the other show that that's part of Star Wars that it was decent that was on Disney Plus, but still like
and Andor.
Yeah, it was Andor.
Andor, the sleeper. Everybody says it was really good, really well written, acted, but nobody watched it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it wasn't Star Wars.
No.
Well, I don't know. That to me.
From Rogue One in it, right? It's the continuous story.
Yeah, but
I guess
I gave it a chance, but to me, it just didn't capture the essence of Star Wars. It was
I think it's hard when you have. Again, this is why Star Wars is mainly a movie franchise. Obviously, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not naming the others. They don't exist.
There are no others. There are no others.
There are no others. But everything from those movies flow from those movies. Those are like the main dogs that tell people what to do and what lore and what Star Wars is supposed to feel and look like and what it's about. And I mean, everybody in the general audience and my parents, especially my mom, she saw Star Wars. It wasn't A New Hope. It was Star Wars in the theater. So people like my parents grew up with this stuff. And it's like, if they saw this stuff now, they'd be freaking clueless because they're like, where's Luke and Leia and Han? And those are like, that's Star Wars. So for a lot of people who grew up with this stuff, and like for me and for like all of us here, we grew up with before the prequels as well as right after the prequels. So it's kind of like a lot of this is starting to get a little confusing. Yes, there's other aspects I mean, this is part of the Star Wars fandom anyway, where there's what you do and don't like, and whose character is better than the other character and all this other stuff. That's true, but everybody for the most part can pretty much agree on who is Star Wars, and really it's Han, Luke, and Leia. They were the main three. They started this off. They are Star Wars, and the fact remains that the general audience knows that they're pretty much they're dead, they're gone, and they're no longer part of the universe. No one's gonna care.
Do you think if they had
notwithstanding, I'm sorry, and let me caveat with this: people can be fans or like certain other aspects of Star Wars, and that's fine. Because you have your Clone Wars fans, you have your Rebels fans, you have your video game Lucasfilm fan, those video game fans like the Star Wars, the Knights of the Old Republic, all this other stuff. But for the most part, people can pretty much agree on beyond the common ground of Han, Luke, and Leia is Star Wars. So if they're not in the picture or somewhere in there, where people are going to kind of disappear.
I have a question, and after my question, Rachel, I want you, Dr. I would like you to tell me what your opinion is before we get into our first topic 30 minutes in. If with the last 3 movies, with the new characters like Finn, Rey, Kylo and stuff, would there be more, how can I say this, like forgiveness for it in a sense if they honored the legacy characters better within those 3 movies? Like they actually did Leia, Luke and Han justice. I know one of the biggest things is people wish that at the end of the last one their spirit ghosts, or help me people, what is it called in Star Wars? Thank you, Force Ghost. Was like together, and that should have been an end scene for them too as well. Do you think if they actually had done those 3 right, even if it was the way the storyline was going, people would have been more forgiving for this Disney trilogy? Nobody speak at once.
Maybe.
Well, it was directed to Dr. Rachel. I don't want to.
Yeah, it was directed to Dr. Rachel.
That was directed at all of you. I said, I have a question for all of you.
Yeah, I heard
I'm like the least Star Wars nerd here.
Yeah, I'm looking at like nobody got well.
Been quiet.
Do you think so? Yes. Then I want Dr. Rachel to tell me what she thinks Disney Star Wars, and we'll get into that. But do you think if they had honored the three of them better, like did it better, same storyline, but did it better, like remove Leia's space mom or whatever's going on,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, Mary Poppins.
Oh, Mary
Don't
Poppins.
actually kill Han, and Luke is not an asshole. I can swear on my own stream. Do you think there would have been a little bit more forgiveness for the new, the latest Disney trilogy?
I don't know, because there's going to be there's and I'm sorry to speak first, but there's when they came out at first, Leia Poppins. That's probably the best one. Leia Poppins. When they first came out, when Lucasfilm was bought and everything, and then Kathleen Kennedy said, "We have no source material." I think that lost a lot of fans at the get-go, and of course, it's going to be a heck of a lot more scrutinized. Now, if they didn't say that, and they used Heir to the Empire, but kind of in their own adaptive way, I think better written, to be quite honest. Not Heir to the Empire wasn't better written. I'm just saying written movies for sequels kind of thing. Exactly. 40 years of expanded material ignored. That means comics, that means books, that means figurines that came out that went along with some of these stories that were part of this universe, video game lore, which is highly in depth, and everything else. So you're telling fans who've had this stuff, who've been in this world, this galaxy for, really, and saying that, no, it's no longer exists. And to say that, and then try to create something different from that and make it better. I don't know. I think I don't know. For me, in my opinion, it would just be a little bitter, because I'd be still thinking, you still have the source material. You have 3 books that you could possibly use to make a story out of. And you say that this is no longer worthy of being adapted. So it's almost like you're telling at least 2 or 3 different generations saying you don't exist.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because I know they did him dirty. My 9-year-old brother tried to force choke me as his Darth Vader costume over the weekend while I was in Chicago. And you know what I responded with? I go, "The Force is female." And that knocked me out. He backed off.
Oh, no.
I told you, I'm getting that shirt made. I'm going to get Force is female in the front, make Marvel male in the back, confuse the hell out of people. People won't know. And just wear it around Disney. Anyway, Dr. Rachel, I know you're not a Star Wars nerd as much as Lily and Mags and our own Cara. So what is your take just in general on it? And then we'll get into the first topic.
That's okay. I like, saving my stuff to the end, just because I feel like I just let it build up, and then I'm like, okay, here's word vomit of my thoughts. But as you can see from the wall behind me, I'm much more into high fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, like that sort of other kind of fantasy. So sci-fi has never been hugely my thing. But in terms of, oh gosh, I can't even hear myself with these headphones. In terms of just what you were asking before and what Mags was saying, I absolutely agree that it's a hard maybe, just because I feel like after episodes 4, 5, and 6 came out, you had people who went to see it kind of went into 2 groups. One group was people who watched those and loved it, and then they moved on. And it was decades later. So they moved on from a lot of that. They had a lot of growth happening, and a lot of things change within that amount of time before episodes 1, 2, and 3. So they're like, you know what? That was satisfying for all the characters. I'm done. Let's move on to something else. So I'm not going to come back. And then you have the other people who are like, wow, this is really cool. I want to know what happens to all these other characters. So then they go out and get the books. They go out and read the comics. They go out and go to all these conventions. And they're so deep into the lore that when the next few come out, they're like, okay, I can see where this is going, but this is not how I pictured it would be. So they're already starting to lose interest. So even if you give like Luke and Leia and Han, and I know people in the chat are like, what about Chewie? What about Chewie? So we'll throw in Chewie and C-3PO and R2-D2, all the classic characters. Even if you give them like great endings, you're still like, those fans already know so much and are already deep in the lore that even if you give them the great endings, they're like, okay, good, I'm done. I don't need to watch these, 5 shows that all came out this year.
Yeah.
It's so much like content that's being pushed out that they can't really develop good stories. They can't develop good character lines, and they're pushing so much new things. They're pushing so much new content that people just aren't interested. The ones who were interested from episodes 4, 5, and 6, they've had so much time to delve into the lore that if anything's different, they just really don't care anymore.
Well,
so it's like it's beating a dead horse to the center of the earth, not just 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Just let it go at that point.
Well,
And that's why I never really got into it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. I've never watched like any of the shows, like Mandalorian, Andor, Ahsoka. I watched pilot episode of Ahsoka. That's the only thing I've watched in terms of all the shows. I've seen episodes 4, 5, and 6 multiple times. I've seen episodes 1, 2, and 3, maybe like once or twice each. And I think I watched one of the new ones that was after that. I've seen so little of it, and I don't care. There's so much being thrown out. There's so much, even in terms of cinematography, it's not good. Fighting sequences are not good. They seem to be getting worse and worse. And there's nothing really in it for me. Even me as a total normie, I don't know the lore at all. I can barely tell you character names. But I don't see anything to hold on to. I don't really see characters that I absolutely love and want to see their stories completed. I don't see great fight sequences. I don't see even like the cute huggable BB-8 or Grogu. I'm like, I don't care.
R2 will always be better.
R2 is better. I have R2 somewhere, but this guy hangs out.
He's cute too. I like BB-8 too. But
yeah, and if you
I am a fan of the technology that made him happen, though. I am a fan of the tech that made BB-8 happen.
If I wake him up, he'll actually like talk. Well, not talk, but you know what I mean. And then if you watch Star Wars, he'll like interact with the movie and stuff. Yeah, he's cute.
Nah, I had one of those Furbies back in the 90s, and I'm just like, no more interactives. No more interactive robot things.
Those things scared the crap out of me as a kid. In the middle of the night, it would just like say something while you're dead asleep. But you know what I used to hide mine around the house so my grandmother would find it randomly. I would like open, like if she would open her fridge, it would be there. And I would talk to her. Or like in the middle of the night, it'd be like hidden in like the bathroom mirror or something. And yeah, so
great. Right before Friday the 13th, we're talking about the evilness of Furbies. I'm gonna have nightmare.
I've seen some really weird videos with Furbies. I'm not gonna lie, some really awkward adult themed videos with Furbies, and I'm like, this is not furries, Furbies.
Yep,
it's been weird. So as we have vented out our Disney, did you have something to say, Nomi? Because I know you wanted.
Well, yeah, I was kind of going off of what Dr. Rachel was saying. Is just like there's Chewbacca, and there's 3CPO, and there's oh my gosh, R2-D2. Are they really going to create a show based on the origin of those characters? Those are just
absolutely. It's called money. It's called making toys.
But here's the thing:
called
I'm
money.
not gonna watch it because I'm not interested to know about the origin of a Wookiee. Oh, yeah,
Know me.
Or
I hate
it's because you don't need to know everything about every single character. It
Yeah.
takes out all of the mystery and the I don't care. I just know that.
And you don't
I love
even need to
them.
know about the Force. The Force is what it is. It's
Everyone
very
believes
simple.
It's what
Yeah.
it is.
Well, that's the thing. They don't care about audience reaction anymore. Like, if one of the writers is like, I see myself as a Wookiee, they're going to write a whole show about, the origins of Wookiees.
I see
And it's all
myself.
self-expression now.
They're like
all-
Harry. They're like the Harry. They're cousin of cousin It at this point.
They'll
That's my
probably
version
totally
of
like
it.
make it about furries. I see myself
Oh
as a
my
Wookiee and I'm
gosh.
totally a furry. Therefore, we're going to have 5 seasons about Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I'm usually a Wookiee in November. Usually that's when I start. Usually November till about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is when I'll pull the wax kit out, right? And just
Yep.
Hey, like,
I'm just saying,
I was not on this one.
yeah, if they're gonna make a show about droids, I hate to break it to everybody, it's probably not gonna be for our age range.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh
It's-
yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah,
It's probably
it's for
better off
making
doing, like,
toys.
a Disney Junior Plus show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
when
watch it.
Does
when
that even
Disney was
exist
cool.
anymore?
no, I don't even think Disney Channel exists anymore, which is really sad. Really sad.
Yeah.
All right, our first topic is, since we're still on the Star Wars thing, I know we're about an hour in, is Del Toro's Star Wars. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Where is it?
Sorry, Amanda.
This makes me really sad. This this article that they released.
Yes. I yeah.
I don't know how they got my picture, but
Josh.
Nadia.
Yeah. No.
No.
That ain't you.
that's all right.
What
I
if you
call
want
myself.
to dress up as Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah, what if
for
I
a
what if I have an
show?
obsession with Jabba the Hutt? Maybe I'm like, why do they have my picture? So Del Toro apparently had a Star Wars film, and I guess from my understanding, it was going to be a prequel story about Jabba the Hutt and how he became Jabba the Hutt, I guess. Which is really sad. So I guess which is interesting because I love everything he does. I think he does fantastic stuff. Pan's Labyrinth, probably one of my favorite films of all time.
Yes.
So great. And I could really see
great.
him really bringing it to the Star Wars universe. But he made a statement here. Where is it? Where he said, it's not my property. It's not my money. It's one of those 30 screenplays that go away. And I guess. Okay. That's somebody's translation is really bad. But yeah. So I'm actually sad about this. I think this would have been great.
He probably would have made it into like a really interesting, really dark underworld, with talking about slavery and spice runs and all this other like mafia style.
What Boba Fett should have been.
Yeah, exactly. Mafia style type of movie of how the Hutts came into power and all the, what their holdings were and everything. And it would have been an interesting take. But his statement there sounded very defeatist, like the way like he got treated terribly at Lucasfilm. That's kind of how I took it. But
we definitely need a relatable Jabba.
He does.
I'm right here.
Oh
Slipper
my
Dad. I'm right here.
stop
You
it.
relate to me.
He does really great with creatures, which is why I'm really,
yeah.
really sad about this, because every single movie that he's made where there's like a creature, Pan's Labyrinth had a whole bunch of them, and then he did The Shape of Water. He did, if you guys haven't seen it, I was telling them earlier that he has a little anthology series on Netflix called The Cabinet of Curiosities or something like that.
Yep.
It is, some of those stories are so good, and mind you, it's like in 1 hour he can tell you an entire story, and it's really good compared to some of these like 3-hour movies that are coming out that really are terrible. So I'm like devastated that we didn't get to see Star Wars from his perspective, because I think it would have been like amazing.
We actually could have seen like
she's not a nurse. She's not a nurse.
She's not a nurse. She's like an employee, like a janitor employee.
Yeah, she's like a janitor.
Listen. I mean, that fish was pretty built. That fish was pretty built. I'm not gonna lie.
And doesn't it turn out at the end that she's like a fish person too?
I mean,
Oh wait, Rachel, you're on mute, by the way.
Whoops.
What
Sorry,
were
I
you
had to
saying? I
type
saw you
something.
talking, but no noise.
Oh no, I just said whenever someone starts with listen, you know it's gonna be good.
listen.
Listen.
I mean, it was a pretty.
You gotta do it with the
jacked
hands. Listen.
Yep. Listen.
I think he was more
Listen.
man than fish. I
So
mean,
are you telling me that you're a scaly?
no. My husband's covered head to toe in hair. I like bears, apparently. But I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna kill me now.
I'm
just saying.
so much about Nadia today.
Oh boy.
I can't wait till my phone buzzes and he texts and he's like, "What are you saying?" I'm saying you
It'll be
probably.
soon.
My assumption is if you're with a fish man, you probably don't need a lot of lube. Anyway,
Oh.
I told you we're going off the rails.
Oh,
I'm not having any sleep since getting home. Oh, you guys are gonna.
I know it's okay. Keep talking about it. I love hearing it.
He also did Hellboy 1 and 2. Right,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
only 2 of them
Yeah,
he
he
did,
did
I
that.
believe. Yeah, which I enjoyed. I think, even though I don't. What is this? Just a little, Nadia. Just a little. Just a little. Just a little. Listen, I'm not this free on salty nerd. I don't get to talk about fish lube. Okay.
Oh my god.
Moving on.
How much sugar have you had? How much have you gotten into the Halloween candy yet?
Too
I
much.
know.
No
What
candy,
happened?
I'm serious. I didn't sleep for like 5 days while I was in Chicago. It's catching up. Yes.
So you're basically you're in that delirious state right now.
I'm like this all the time. I just censor
Wow.
myself around you guys sometimes. That's all. I can get really crude with the best of them. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Tickle's drunk highlight his newest.
Get your tips and tricks on how to.
Someone please share the stream out with like that hashtag.
Now I'll be able to do my Shape of Water couple's costume because he's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, no.
People who are into that. No.
I don't know.
Oh my
I'm not into.
gosh.
Listen, I'm not into that kind of stuff. I don't believe in dressing up like.
Oh my gosh! Look at High
Fish
King
people.
Theonore. He says
Yeah.
rename the stream to the aquatic erotic experience.
Oh
Yes.
I like,
Yes.
and my computer is just sitting right here, so it's hearing all of this. So I'm sure my algorithm is going to be completely full of fish next time.
yeah.
Excellent.
And the next thing we're gonna get like Amazon.
My phone's right here, so I'll be hearing it too.
Yep.
And suddenly you're banned from like the
Wow.
nearest aquarium.
If you guys all have dreams about fishmen, you're welcome.
Find
Oh,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, that's true.
It's right.
In the chat.
Ocean man, take
Yeah.
me by the hand.
I gotta tell my boyfriend I have a new costume idea for him, and I totally
Oh my
blame you, Nadia.
gosh.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow.
You know what? We should do that since we're gonna have Danny on next in 2 weeks, and we're all gonna be dressed in costumes. We should look for the worst costumes and have a little bit of a
Yes.
segment where we
Oh.
talk about roasting some people's bet. Listen, you put it out in the
I love
internet,
those.
you deserve to be roasted.
Exactly. Yes.
All right.
Yep,
I've got some
agreed.
costumes out there. I deserve to be roasted. Okay. So,
Fair.
one more. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Oh, JT came in at the right time.
Oh.
Welcome, JT.
Are you
Talking
kidding me?
about
It's the
wow.
it was totally bait and switch at this point, you know?
Literally.
Yeah, the aquatic
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
erotic
This was-
experience,
This
JT.
was
Now,
our agenda all along.
yes. All right. I think we'll move on to our next topic. What is our next topic? That's a good point. Okay. So I'm going to pre-warn the chat now. We are not going to discuss spoilers on this, mostly because I want to watch it. And Lily
I
better.
will-
Yes, I'm looking at you, Lily. I'm
Lily.
Okay.
Lily.
We're gonna.
Yep. I'm all
Full of the house
evil
of
do I
Usher.
want to be. Just kidding.
Dun, dun,
Look at
dun.
her.
Edgar Allan Poe was released today by Michael Flanagan, who has done quite a bit of, I think okay. I don't like when people call it elevated horror, but I'm going to call it elevated horror, okay? So, anybody knows Mike Flanagan? He did Haunting of Hill House. Actually, this is released, I believe Haunting of Hill House was about 5 years ago, was released on the same day, which also today also marks that he's 5 years sober as well. He posted on Twitter. It's not like I'm telling his private information. He posted it himself. So this is out, and this is going to be his last anthology. I wouldn't say it an anthology series, but his last series with Netflix that he's contract obligated to do so. And then afterwards, I assume he's going straight into working on Dark Tower, I'm hoping. Lily has seen it. Has anybody else on the panel seen it yet? An episode or two?
I'm up to I think the middle of episode 3. So obviously it just came out today. So I was kind of like watching it while.
How many episodes are there?
I think it's 8.
Normally there are about 8 episodes. Yeah, with Honey and Hill House, Haunted of Bly Manor. Which, by the way, I feel Honey and Bly Manor, everybody gives it a bad rap because they were expecting ghost in every corner like Honey of Hill House. Because if you go back and watch Honey in the Hill House, there's ghosts like randomly in corners. I think there's hundreds of ghosts throughout the series. They don't interact in the story itself, but they're there. Honey of Bly Manor, I think, is more of a love story, in my opinion. So it's not so much of a ghost story. Midnight Mass made me had a religious call to Jesus when I watched it. Like my relationship with God changed. Anyway, I could go on for 5 hours about Mike Flanagan, but Lily, you're the only one that's seen it, correct? No, we didn't do our homework either. He's like, I don't know what you're doing.
I got life stuff to do, man. I'm sorry. I got a lot of things, and I got more things tomorrow.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it just came out today.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think a lot of people have had a chance to.
I think it got certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes a few days ago, but then again, it's Rotten Tomatoes, which reminds me, everybody go join me on Criticlist app. I'm actually over there shooting my movie reviews. It's a really cool app where you can actually interact with others. Highly recommend it, and I can post the link to it on my Twitter. So if you guys want to join, think of it as like Letterboxd, but with a cool 80s theme, and you can actually comment on each other's reviews and actually have conversations. You can put lists together. I have my top spooky season movie list on there, so highly recommend it. I'm obsessed with it. Most of the Salty Nerds obsessed with it, and so is Owen. Not Owen. I don't know who. Anyway, I'm off the bio. Rein myself in. Anything else, Lily? Is it good?
I think I just saw that Mr. Tickle Trunk said that he was a huge fan of Poe.
Mm-hmm.
If that's, I'm gonna rhyme. If that's so, you're probably spoilers. Just kidding. I think for someone who is a fan of Poe, you've read his stories, you love them, you love how like dark and spooky and whatever they are, you're probably not gonna like this because I love his stuff. I've been reading it since it was probably not appropriate for me yet, but I loved him since I was a child. But they took, it seems, how can I describe it? So the title comes from one of his short stories, right? So you think that this is what it's going to be about. If you've read that story, you know that there's only like 2 characters in that entire story. 3 if you count the one we never see. So really, how do you turn that into an 8-episode TV show? You don't. You basically tap into all of Poe's work, take a lot of elements out of his stories, and create one big story. And of course, it's Netflix, so you should already know what you're expecting.
What's that supposed to mean, Lily?
People know. Watch, people in the chat will know. They're gonna know. I don't want to say it, but you'll know. From now that I got that out of the way, being a Poe fan, if they had called this something else, if they had taken inspiration, made their own thing, it's entertaining. I wouldn't say it's the best thing I've watched, but they have some really cool like cinematography going on. They have some really cool scenes. At the end of episode 2, there's a scene that was like so good, straight out of a horror movie. Loved it. Super gruesome. It's awesome. But there's a lot of other unnecessary stuff in there. Like, personally, to me, I don't really like when shows focus a lot on like sex, because sometimes they use it in a way that it makes no sense to the show. It's just there to show off boobs and things like that, which of course I'm sure the guys don't mind. But personally, to me, I'm just like, can we actually get story going instead of just this nonsense? So it's entertaining. It's got its moments. Like I said, I'm barely in like episode 3. So, but yeah, if you're a big fan of Poe and you're expecting Edgar Allan Poe's stories come to life, you're not going to get that. So just go in there expecting that.
I haven't read Poe since middle school, high school, whenever we were required to. I'm more of an H.P. Lovecraft kind of gal. I like the freaky little... Look at me with tentacles again. Never mind.
Nadia, you're in this very aquatic phase right now.
I know.
Is it the age of Aquarius?
I know.
I guess. But I'm into Flanagan, and I would be interested to see your opinion about it, Lily, once you finish it, because he does take his time to kind of build a story, and some things that happen in the first act of like a 8 episode series ties in towards the end, and you go, what it laps. So I'd be interested to see if you have the same opinion after you finish it afterwards. So I'd be very curious.
Because, I mean, this one if you're expecting it to be like all his other stories, I'm going to be honest, all of his other ones I couldn't get through because I thought they were boring. Sorry, Nadia.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I hate to do this, Lily. I'm picking you out.
I knew it. I couldn't do it. That was like my version of Andor to Star Wars. That was to me of horror. I couldn't do it. They're boring to me. So if you want a story that gets going like fast, you're gonna get that with this one. This one doesn't like it doesn't start off with you like, what's happening? No, there's a lot of horror elements in it. So if you're a horror enthusiast, you'll enjoy that aspect of it. They're doing that really, really well. But like I said, if you're a Poe fan and you're a fan of his stories, that's not what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get Poe. Just because it has ravens in it isn't Poe. You
just broke me, Lily. I had
sorry.
You won't like if you attempted to, I would even tell you don't even try Midnight Mass. Because it's
I loved Midnight Mass. I love that one. That
lady, like, what's your problem? Lily. Oh man. It's because you read Poe and I read H.P. Lovecraft. That's the problem growing up. Actually, I read Stephen King way too much. Way too young. Way too young. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else going to attempt to watch this? Because I'm trying to make time tomorrow to binge most of it.
I'll watch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have Friday Night Royal Rumble, but I could probably skip it to watch that tomorrow.
I wouldn't skip right. I'm gonna check right now.
I know. They're not in the chat right now, so
yeah, none of our FNR guys are here.
Yeah, so. They're not here. So they'll never know. Who's gonna know?
You know what?
Someone's gonna tell.
I think I'm tomorrow. I am. I'm on Royal Rumble tomorrow.
Oh, dang it! That's right.
She screwed me.
All of a sudden, none of us are there tomorrow.
I forgot. What time is it tomorrow? Nomi, what time does it start?
Same as today.
What?
5 o'clock your time.
5 o'clock my time?
Yeah.
I got a haircut tomorrow. I better race home. Okay.
Oh, you can make. Hey, I raced home today to be here. I just came out from a tattoo appointment. You can totally make tomorrow's stream.
Side note, I'm getting bangs and everybody's telling me it's the worst decision of my
No,
life,
no,
and I don't care.
No.
I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing
I
it.
bought Banks because I thought like, yeah, Banks would be cool, but they've been annoying, and I don't like it.
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Everybody, my sisters, my husband, they're like, don't do it. And then my husband goes, I know girl talk. I know what this means. What's wrong? Usually when you get bangs. Like, what's wrong?
I love your husband, Nadia. He is so good and smart.
Chris is the man. You love Chris.
I got very lucky. He got Jabba the Hutt, and I got a man aging like fine wine.
Oh my gosh, Nadia, stop it.
Okay, all right.
No.
I guess. Oh, it's 6 o'clock already. Oh yeah. Okay. I told you I'm a loose cannon today, man. Minimal sleep. What's our next topic? Hold on, let me look. Oh, okay. All right. I want to preface this. I saw the original movie for this, what we're about to talk about, when I was probably too young, by myself, because my dad knew I liked horror stuff, and he's like, "Oh, you like horror movies? Let me show you this." And he gave it to me to go watch in my haunted room. Mind you, I lived in an actual haunted house as a kid, which was the original Exorcist. So, The Exorcist Believer just recently came out, which I think is a sequel / reboot, where it's like all religions don't work or some BS. Watching the trailer, I'm actually gonna go see this Tuesday.
It's like four faiths coming to one to defeat basically one demon. So
yes,
it's not great.
And it's
How does
2
that
girls
even
possessed than
happen?
one. So I guess the original director who passed away, but I guess this movie has been in the making. You know how sometimes they'll make movies but then shell them for a little bit? This is my favorite quote of it. Ed, the guy who made those new Halloween sequels, is about to make my movie, The Exorcist. That's right. My signature film is about to be extended by a man who made Pineapple Express. I don't want to be around when that happens, but if there's a spirit world and I can come back, I plan to possess David Gordon Green and make his life a living hell.
and then tragically passes away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like The Exorcist. I don't think it holds up, the original. I don't think if you didn't grow up with it or saw it at a younger age that it holds up now. Like if you were to introduce it to someone, maybe. But I don't think it has like freaking 4 or 5 sequels. Why are they rebooting every freaking thing?
They've run out of ideas.
Yeah,
they have to reboot.
There's no creativity. That's why.
No, there's none.
And they have to take out the spirit of the originals too, because The Exorcist is based off of an actual event of a Catholic priest doing this, and that's the problem, is that you look at like stuff like Star Wars, The Exorcist, or any other things that have, they have some basis in there's a fantasy aspect, but there's some basis in reality where, Star Wars takes from the serials of 1940s bomber planes and fighter pilots and all this other stuff. So there's some basis in reality to that. The Exorcist is the same way because it's based off of an actual event in real life. And unfortunately, they're trying to reboot and remake and everything and literally suck out the spirit, the soul of what that original thing was, and put something in its place. And it just doesn't work like that, because even newer audiences that were never even exposed to this, they're going to notice something is off because it's like a soulless husk.
I did see the controversy about her saying that she wasn't allowed in the room when her daughter was being exorcised. Is that how you would say it? Yeah. Because of the patriarchy, which I've seen the movie, the original. She played a very liberal feminist actress back then. Okay. And back then, during the times of, and which I understand, it's an insult to the 2 male characters in the movies who died saving her daughter. But for her to say, oh, it's because that kind of fits her character, like who that character is from the first movie, a little bit. I think it's gonna be terrible. I'm still gonna go see it. I think it's gonna be terrible.
And not only that, but it comes off as if she's ungrateful for
Yeah.
I mean, you think, it's kind of like there's some, expect some growth, and obviously she didn't have growth at all over these years. So,
oh no, I mean, my dad doesn't have any growth. My parents never had any growth over the years. I mean, that's everybody from that generation. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And a lot of reviews already came out, and apparently it's really bad. It's not.
Oh, it's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go see it.
It's like terrible editing as well. So if you're like picky like me that focuses on little details like that, that's definitely gonna nerve you.
Interesting. I saw that. I really want to see that horror movie Talk to Me, which I was told was very good.
That one was pretty good. Yeah, that one.
It's coming to Netflix at the end of this month, so I'm waiting for it to release. But Lily hates Netflix, so I don't know.
I don't hate Netflix. It's just they put a lot of unnecessary things that shouldn't be in entertainment when I'm just trying to be entertained.
Right. I forgot about this. They actually had a pretty decent Exorcist TV series on Fox. That was 2 seasons. Actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty spooky, and it honored the IP pretty well. But they canceled it, just like they did Constantine, which I think Fox's Constantine series was really good. I think Matt Ryan's the perfect. He looks like him. He looks like John Constantine, but they canceled it after 1 season.
So I think that TV show is the one that they like rebooted, right? So that TV show no longer exists. This is actually the continuation of it, this new movie. Right?
Maybe. Oh, I didn't even think about that, Lily. That this movie is the continuance of that TV show? Interesting. That makes a little bit more sense now. But they don't market it like that, though. They should market it.
No.
Well,
I mean that they rebooted it because they threw out the TV show. So
instead
of the TV show, now it's the movie. Now this is supposed to be like a little sequel or reboot or whatever of
or
like any sequel that it's had.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I thought it looked creepy, but then everybody's like coming out with their reviews and saying that it's really bad, and that like turned me off. And I don't know anybody that's seen it and actually liked it. So Nomi went to go watch Talk to Me first, and she told me that it was really good. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty creepy.
I have plans to see it with someone, so I have to go see it Tuesday, because they still would like to go see it. But there's not many horror movies out in theaters.
Oh, and if you guys are trying to look for something to watch right now, actually Hocus Pocus and the Nightmare Before Christmas are actually going to be showing in select theaters. So if you guys want to go watch those movies.
All right, listen. I'm going back to listen.
Listen.
Controversy time.
I think Hocus Pocus is overrated. I also think Nightmare Before Christmas is overrated.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Both of them.
No,
both of them.
You're not wrong. I agree with you.
Yes.
I didn't know.
No, Lily's just like anger.
I like them. I usually watch them like around this time of year, but again, I think they're overrated. I don't get the huge hype for them.
Yeah. Also,
I'm just it's
they're good
to watch.
Also, Nightmare Before Christmas is a Thanksgiving movie. It is not a Christmas movie, nor is it a Halloween movie. It is about what happens in between the holidays.
Yes.
But also keep in mind, I was a very spooky child. So these were literally my favorite movies when I was little. I had
Lily is a Sith. Remember that.
I had 2 very prominent sides when I was a child. I was either playing with my Barbies, being totally super girly, or I was watching really spooky movies. Those were my 2.
Girl, same. We just watched different spooky movies. I personally, my childhood Halloween movie, Beetlejuice. I like Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is a good one.
I think he's better.
They're all in the same category. It's Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice. I
think Hocus Pocus is just overrated.
Christmas. Why though? It's good.
By the way, Hocus Pocus also not for children.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Yeah, the witchcraft that's in it.
Witchcraft. They kill children.
Yep.
There's sexual innuendos.
Yep.
There's one of them has their boobs out. the whole time. Sarah Jessica Parker's character. Not for children, guys. Not for children. It's Hoxie Pocus or whatever it is.
Oh my gosh.
Hoxie Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
So,
well, I'm just saying, fans of those movies, they're gonna be in theaters, so go watch them.
let's see where the poll is. I do have a poll going on in the chat right now of best Halloween movies, and I put 4. I put Trick or Treat, which is the shirt I'm wearing, which is an anthology movie, which is fantastic. Hocus Pocus, Halloween, and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is winning. Just gonna say, the people know.
I mean, it's to see. I'm not gonna fight with you over this because they're all movies I like.
Oh, you know
Well, I'm always like, no, what?
That's why if you're like, oh yeah, I hate these movies, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I love all of them equally. Like all the ones that you put on there, I can't rank them because I actually like all of them.
Oh, Addams Family too. I should have put up there too. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is like the genre that I'm like, yeah, I like all of these movies.
And I just want to fight today. Apparently, I have.
That's why I'm like, whichever one wins, okay, that's like everybody's preference. It's fine.
Lily's chill, and Nadia's like, no, fight
Yeah.
me.
Fight me. Fight
And
me
that's
now,
funny
Lily.
that she says that because I've actually got my Hocus Pocus / The Craft t-shirt today.
The Craft, really good movie. What's
It's a really great movie. I love that movie.
Practical Magic? Great movie.
Practical
I wouldn't say
Magic
it's
is
Halloween.
cute.
People just assume like witches, Halloween. Ooh, like, oh, I'm just gonna practice being a witch just one day out of the year. Like, yes, Mr. Tickle Drunk, punch me, hit me. I need conflict. I'm like that at my D&D table. I'm gonna D&D nerd for a second. I play a tiefling. And when you play a tiefling, you get this cool spell that if somebody hits you and actually hits you, you get to go Hellish Rebuke and you light them on fire. And the whole time we're at the table and we're going after monsters, I'm like, hurt me. So I can light people on fire. So that's my
I will
story.
have to say as a side, with your tweets the other night, like words quotes from the D&D table, I was literally dying.
It's because somebody at our D&D table decided to take 50 milligram edible. That's why.
Dang.
Why did you record it? You should have recorded it.
No, I wouldn't do that to them. I wouldn't do that to them. I wouldn't put it up. But those were like, he was out of it and just random quotes about like, what was the other one? I don't know why everybody thinks Prince is great. Rick James is definitely better than Prince. Out of nowhere. No discussion about music. And then Roll for Bear out of nowhere. I'm like, okay.
Man, D&D sessions go hard.
I know. I felt so bad for them. Nadia, how do we almost listen, Mr. Tickle Trunk? Listen, my friend. I am a dark wizard, witch, whatever. Like in the Hogwarts Legacy, I went right for the killing spells and went pew pew pew, start killing things. So, what? Nadia's craving a different kind of hocus pocus. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that, Jay.
What other kind of hocus pocus am I craving? Never mind. Don't answer that.
Yeah, don't answer
that. I will not indulge on that one.
We already talked about that like half an hour ago.
Yeah, it was the aquatic kind. There
Yeah,
you
the
go.
aquatic
Yep.
fishmen.
Back like 40 minutes.
What else are we talking? Oh, okay. All right. I'm so organized today.
Hang on, Nadia. I just wanted to say, like, we were also talking about like things that were coming out. Like, that's what started this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Lily was talking about things that were coming out. I do want to say, like, 2 I am very excited for. One is because I played the game, and the movie looks terrible, but I want to see it anyway. Five Nights at Freddy's is coming out the end of this month. I think it looks terrible. And one that is still out in theaters. I went to see it a couple weeks ago with Jed, and it was amazing. I highly recommend this one, A Haunting in Venice.
It was really good.
That was fantastic.
I avoided
That
it
was fantastic.
because of the other two, the Oriental Train one and the what's the
Oriental
other one?
Express and then Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile.
I would say, Yeah, Death in the Nile I haven't seen. Jed has, and he said it really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express, I remember being all right, but we both really loved A Haunting in Venice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it.
So if you're into that
yeah.
kind of film, I definitely recommend that one.
I was avoiding that film because of the other two. I was like, oh, I'll catch it when it hits streaming. But I'll check it. I'll check those
really
two out.
liked it.
And what was the other one?
The Five Nights at Freddy's one.
So I've never played the games, but I've watched. I don't know if you know who Matt Pat is.
Yes.
He's an old YouTube. I used to watch his like deep dives into those games about how crazy they are about like certain type of killers and stuff like that, and the history and the lore behind it. And when they released the trailer, I tweeted to him, I'm like, I bet you're crying in your closet right now, aren't you? Because he would release like, now I understand the whole timeline and the in-depth of it. And then another game would come out with a new storyline and something new to add to it. And he would have to redo his videos. But yes, I really actually, I know it looks bad, but I really want to see Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
Same.
I've been following the games at Five Nights at Freddy, so like I know the lore pretty well, so I'm so excited for this.
I've seen playthroughs of all of them, but I have played the first one all the way through, and I enjoyed it. But I'm like, I could not keep up with all the games, so I watch playthroughs of like everything else.
There's so many variations.
And it's
really
so
good.
interesting to me that it's marketed towards children and it's children games, but the storyline is definitely not for kids.
No.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, this is fighting words with me, sir, because this is my movie of the year for 2023. And say, I hope you're not talking about Honor Among Thieves, sir. Not
he is. He found it boring. I told him in chat, I said I liked it, and he said I found it boring, and I said that's too bad.
Apparently, you don't know what excitement is, Mr. Tickle Trunk. It's okay.
He is Canadian. What can I say?
Oh, explain so much for me now. So much. I'm so sorry, ladies. I apologize for my behavior today. I'm just working on so little. Lily is so like she's over me. She's completely over me. I can see it in her face. So like we're supposed to have a chill chat, and Nadia is over here talking about fish dick and like tentacles and stuff like that.
So don't blame the chat. Don't blame the chat when they start going off on stuff.
I'm sorry. I don't know what is going on with me. I think it's lack of sleep. I promise I will tame it back. I'll tame it back a little bit. Anything else on what were we talking about? The Exorcist? Anything else?
Exorcist.
Anybody else? Exorcist? Nothing? Did any of you actually see the original?
Yes.
No.
I knew a lot about it through my parents because they saw it in theaters when it came out.
Whoa.
You never saw the original? So Mags and Naomi, your homework.
When we were teenagers, and we used to have like our little sleepovers, and we would actually set up everything outside and watch it outside. Because it wasn't creepy enough. And of course, a lot of our friends had older brothers who loved to come out and scare the heck out of us. Actually, you know how you mentioned how that one kind of didn't like hold up too well? Did you guys ever watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Yes. Yeah.
That one is really scary. I think that one scared me more than
that's the one that I think my parents saw. That's why I'm getting confused there. Yeah.
Because that would freak me out, because you know how like the girl the actress that came out in The Exorcism of Emily Rose, like all her weird like contortions and stuff, that was actually her. They didn't bring in like another stunt person like they did for The Exorcist. Like she did her own like weird contortions. That's why it freaked me out even more, because it looked a little too real, because it was real. So I don't know. That one's one of my top like favorites that
I'll have to go back and
freaks me out.
Rewatch it. I don't know. I'm weird about possession movies. They creep me out because maybe it's my Catholic upbringing, but it just weirds me out a little bit when you tie in demonic forces, when you make it realistic. Okay, not like I'm not talking about The Conjuring or what's the other universe where they have people when they actually take like The Exorcist is based off a true story event, based off a book and stuff, you know. So when they do it more realistic, when it actually could happen, it freaks me out. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Nope.
Well, especially when since they're Catholic priests that are very specific to exorcising demons.
Yes.
And it's not like every priest can do that. It's very specific, specialized priests.
And they don't even know who it is. My cousin, when he was studying to be a Catholic priest, I asked him one time, like, hey, if an exorcism is approved, like, who do you call? Like, who do you call? Ghostbusters? Like, who do you call? And he's like, we don't even know who they are. Like, you don't know who they are. They are, whoever their identity is like the top know who they are, and they send them out. But you, like, the normal priest or normal diocese and stuff, they don't even know who they are.
Yeah, because it's for their protection, because of the nature of the job.
Yeah. Ooh, I just got chills, man.
Yes. No, it's true. It's because, you know what? I was watching a YouTube video that I guess I was watching, like, I don't remember what I was watching, but then this video started playing and I was like, ooh, what is this? That actually a lot of the times when they have those kinds of movies where they're doing like spells, like in American Horror Story and things like that, that this person was saying that actually you shouldn't pay attention to that stuff. They actually use real spells in media.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't even know that. So I'm over here like watching all these movies and they're like, no, you're not supposed to mute them because you're like putting that out there into your house. And I'm like, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
Like
I always thought that
door, that portal to them.
Yes, I always thought that I never looked it up. I always thought that maybe like in Hollywood they had a rule that you had to like make pretend like spells and things like that, so you wouldn't actually do that. That's creepy. That creeped me out even more.
There's a conspiracy theory that went around when Kanye West's last album dropped, that it was like, don't play this. It's, you know, there's spells in it. It's gonna open portals. Oh yeah, there's a ton of conspiracy about them using that stuff in media and stuff. Yeah. Oh, I could talk about that for hours. Put my conspiracy hat on and just talk.
Gosh. Yeah, I will not listen to certain artists anymore because they said that they're like super demonic and satanic. I do not play their music anymore. I'm like I'm over it.
Doja Cat. Anytime a song comes on, Chris is like, change that demonic shit. Get out of here.
She was because she went crazy. What the heck happened? Her newest video that came out, Demons. I watched it and I swear I had nightmares for an entire week. I don't know if it was just like me that I was like all freaked out, or it's actually that because I wanted to be curious and check it out. Yeah, no, I can't play that music anymore. I don't listen to Beyonce anymore.
Like Beyonce too.
I would want to welcome that into my household, to be quite honest.
Even Taylor Swift. I went there. Taylor Swift is definitely part of that cult.
Yes, I don't listen to Taylor anymore. If I don't have to, I don't listen to her anymore. Yeah, there's like reports that she's doing like witchcraft on stage and passing it off as a show.
She's doing like a performative like seance, basically.
Yes. Yeah. And so is Beyonce. Like, if you actually go and like get into it with people that are like talking about this stuff, they talk about it, that Beyonce's album covers, if you notice like all the things she's done, she's always on a different colored horse. And who are the horses and that's bringing the yes. She's into all this weird stuff. Like, I think her drummer actually came out and said that she's a witch.
I believe it.
Wow.
Did you guys see the Doja Cat statues that were around Chicago?
No. Oh. Are you about to scare us? I mean, we did say it was going to get creepy.
She had like a bunch of these around.
Oh my gosh.
In different positions, by the way. They had like like creepy positions, straight. Like, this is not just the only one. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, she's gone.
And people are taking pictures with them. I'm like, why are you taking pictures with this demonic crap? Like, get it out of here. Of course, in Chicago.
She's gone. She's beyond gone. I don't know what happened.
I almost did the Illuminati sign. I was like, oh, I better keep my
No.
Here we go.
Woo! Never mind there, YouTube. Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel people, because people don't have responsibilities. They don't, in a sense, like there's no responsibility to serve your country. There's no there's no responsibility to take care of your family. Everything is like, you can get your food delivered to you. You can get your weed delivered to you, your alcohol. You don't have to leave the house, in a sense. I think all of that has made people more susceptible to bad things, whatever you believe in. And I think it also decreases morality in all of us, because we no longer just don't care about our appearance. I mean, look, people go out in their pajamas. Not saying I don't. There have been times where, like, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I really don't care how I look. But people don't care about their appearance. There's a ton of things. And I think it's starting to lead to people being more susceptible to stuff like this. Just my theory.
Yes. Yeah, because I guess in the chat, I think it was Mr. Tickletrunk, I'm not sure. He said that it was just like marketing. I understand that it's marketing to a point because it's getting people talking, but then the kind of things that she's actually putting out, and if you pay attention to her lyrics and things like that, like this last song, she's basically telling you that she's like worshiping Satan. I don't think she's calling herself a puppet of the industry and all these things that you can say, oh, that's just Doja, like whatever. But hello, they put it in plain sight when they're not trying to hide it anymore.
They don't care about it anymore.
No. I mean, it's
like Edgy.
Yeah,
Edgy was like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Where he literally used to come out in interviews and say, guys, this is just performative. Like, I grew up like Christian or something. Like, I'm very much a believer, but this is just performative. And yes, he got into like all kinds of like crazy things back then, but
that's when he did it.
Yes, it's old albums. They had Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy was into that. Yeah. Alice Cooper. I mean, that was performative, but like Alice Cooper is he's a Christian. He's always talking about all of the good things that he's done. It's performative. That's separate. But like Doja Cat doesn't separate it. Like if you
nobody can tell the difference anymore, though. Like
no, exactly.
All this like self-insertion into the media, into movies, TV shows, music. Because of all that self-insertion and people aren't creative anymore, they can't separate reality from entertainment. And that's getting to be a huge problem, not just with, like pushing agendas and things like that, but just individual people not knowing who they are anymore.
Yes.
Not being able to develop an identity because
this has become their personality.
Separate it. Exactly.
I just wish people would stop worshiping celebrities. I'm just over it. I just feel like these people at the end of the day don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. They really don't even care. Maybe there's like a 1% of them that actually care about giving back to society, but 99.9% of them don't care. They just don't. So when like Megan Fox drinks what's her fiance or boyfriend's name's
blood. The blood thing.
It does blood ceremonies. I mean, these are influencing teenage kids that like, oh, this is edgy and cool. Like how Marilyn Manson. I had an emo phase. I don't know about the rest of you. I did. The bangs and
I had the emo phase.
I shopped at Hot Topic as well. I was like, I did too. But I don't think it was harmful because, like you said, he made a point to say like this is performative. This is just a face I put on. Where they treat it like, no, this is my life. I drink blood for a living.
Yeah. They're just making it super obvious now. Like I was a huge fan of the American Horror Story franchise.
Oh, me too.
And the new one that just came out is so freaky, and not because it's scary, but because of what they're actually like delving into. They're basically telling you what's happening in the industry too, and not even hiding it also. Like it's very I'm not a mom, and it deals with a lot of issues with like women and pregnancy and things like that. And even to me, it's freaking me out with all the things that they're putting out there and what these characters are discussing. And like Kim Kardashian's in it. And I think there was a part in there that she said that she brought up like the Illuminati or something like that she made it like an offhand joke. And I'm like, they're not even like hiding it anymore. They're telling us everything that they're up to. And we think it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I agree on this one.
I agree with dude, listen. I loved American Horror Story up till what is the sideshow one? Because like that
4. I think that one was 4, right?
The freak show. I have a weird obsession with Great Depression freak sideshows. Love it. I have like illustrations. When I used to design haunted houses back in the Midwest, one of my dream was to take the money from the one I was working on and build one based off like freak shows and sideshows. I was like, this is going to be cool. This is going to be awesome. So I love that era. And they did me dirty then. And then when they brought in the witches, that was awful. So every single time they do a promo and I'm like, ooh, I'm interested. But no, you can't rope me in. I was like, but I'll watch it and then I'll waste time watching it. So this season I'm not watching, but I am watching breakdown videos by Think Story. So I know what's going on.
No, this is a very, like, they named it delicate for a reason. It deals a lot with like women's issues, and it's very like, it's I think it'll only be scary to women because basically the plot is that Emma Roberts is like a famous, she's an up and coming famous celebrity or whatever.
Yeah.
But she is already in her 30s. They never tell you how old she is. And basically she's already getting that whole nonsense we hear about every single day, that why is she trying to get pregnant? She's too old, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's like the whole plot of it. And then they're dealing with her trying to conceive and all of this stuff. So it's scary for women because it's real life things that are happening. It's not even like ghosts and monsters and things like that. There's like, it even looks like there's a cult now. So that's why I said like they're bringing in all this creepy stuff that you're like, is this entertainment or are you telling us what's actually going on behind the scenes? Like
it's very Rosemary Baby.
Yeah,
that's where I think a lot of it.
Except very graphic that even I'm like, ooh, okay.
And yes, Seattle is a freak show. I was there because it was 2020 when last I was in Seattle, and this is before COVID took over. But the experiences and the people that I met in Seattle were something else.
You want a really good freak show TV series, by the way, as my brain has just hopped a million miles away. HBO's Carnival, which is about a carnival sideshow, and it's a really good story about good versus evil. Highly recommended. I think there's like 2 or 3 seasons of it, and it still holds up. So if you're like me and you like stuff like that. But yes, where was I? Bring me back, Nomi. What were we talking about? American Horror Story.
I stopped watching it when it was the Lady Gaga one. What's that? The
Hotel? That was horrible.
Ugh. That one was kind of good.
I'm over you, Lily. Today, I'm over you.
It's because she did a pretty good job. Actually, she's creepy too. I know she's part of this whole thing, but like she sold me on the Countess. She was pretty good. Like if I was a vampire, that would be me. I would switch all my hot men every couple of decades.
Lily would be the vampire, and I would be a werewolf. Werewolf would be my jam. That's what I would ask to be. I'd be like, let me go feral, like I have tonight.
So she was onto something, switching her men every couple of decades. I was like, oh, wow.
Freshen it up. You got to freshen the intake up a little bit, you know?
That one did freak me out. I don't know.
Interesting.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
They're not they're anti-Christian and American and German. That's why they use Satan to be trying to be. They think we're still in the 80s. The Satanic Panic, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Satanic Panic. That was very heavily involved with D&D as well, which I talked about in my last Inside All Day episode about D&D. Go check it out, folks. Oh, by the way, like, smash, hit that notification bell, do all that fun stuff on YouTube. Follow along for more aquatic exotic.
Go follow everyone.
Yes, follow everyone. Everybody's information, I believe, right? I did it correct. It's in the description. Everybody's information, everyone's Twitter link, and if you have a YouTube channel, is in there. And follow us all, guys. Go follow us for more exotic erotic. What are we talking about next? Oh yes, okay. The Master of Scream, not Scream, but the. Why do I say Scream? Because I have Scream on the brain. I don't know why. The Master of Halloween. One of the Masters of Halloween. I would say
John Carpenter.
Yes.
And Wes
John
Craven.
Carpenter.
Dude's getting old, man.
Yeah, he's up there in age.
Oof. He returns to director's chair with a true terror anthology, Suburban Screams,
Ooh.
which is interesting. He likes to keep a life-size cardboard cutout of Believe era Justin Bieber.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
As we turn the corner in his office, a cheekily self-proclaimed horror master cackles at the sight that greets all of us who dare to enter. A life-size cardboard cutout of the Believe era Justin Bieber. We have a friend who comes in and stays with us, the director explains, in the guest house decor lurking beside his desk, a smile dancing across his face. We stick it in there to scare him. I mean, I would be scared of Justin Bieber too. I guess I'm the only one.
I mean,
the silence is deafening, ladies. But he's coming back to TV to do a anthology about suburban horror, like a suburban horror anthology that takes place in the suburbs.
Ooh, I actually didn't know that was happening. Now I'm excited for that.
I think it releases at the end of this month. And I for sakes, you all know this is the director of Halloween, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Okay.
father of horror.
Okay. I'm just Nomi, did you know that?
Yes, I knew that.
That's enthusiastic.
The original Halloween, not the remakes, the originals.
Yes.
Okay.
The 20,000 remakes.
I'm just H2O, man.
No,
Underrated.
you're not wrong, but I have to do homework for something else too. So yeah, I know who John Carpenter is.
Okay. I'm just checking.
No, you're checking.
Just checking. So this should be fun. I think this will be a fun thing. I mean, I'm always for. I think horror for TV is well done when it's an anthology series.
Yes. Like
Anybody else?
The Cabinet.
I know, Max, you don't really watch horror.
No, not really.
Dr. Rachel, do you watch horror much? You're not really, right? Not as much, unless it's like a fantasy crossover.
No, I do watch some horror. I kind of just like jump around. I basically listen to like what looks good on a trailer, or just like if I'm bored, I'll look up something. I watch a lot of Korean horror from like Netflix and stuff, just like one-off shows like that. Love it.
I watched, I think, almost the full first season of the one where they're locked in the apartment complex.
Yes,
there's like monsters outside of it and stuff. I forgot what it's called, but that's another good series. Also, French horror is really good too. There's a witchy one called Madeline or Maureen or some weird name. It's a French name, I think it is, and it's about and it's in French. But it's a horror show about a witch, and it's really good. It's really creepy, actually. It actually scared me, but I get scared easily. I do. Don't laugh.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I do too, and that's one of my favorite genres, and I'm like terrified of everything.
Genre. When I'm sick, I watch horror. When comfort movies, horror. But I'm a scaredy cat. I will
but they do make some really good scary movies, and like I think this is gonna redeem Netflix, so I won't be a hater on it. But when that movie, I think it was called Rebecca, came out, something like that was on it, it was really good. It was in Spanish. That one was really good.
Spanish?
Yeah, that one scared the heck out of me. Actually, it's pretty creepy.
Interesting. I'm putting it.
Are you looking it up?
I am. I'm checking. It's got a 38% on Rotten Tomato.
Oh yeah, don't listen to those people.
I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. I listen to my own opinion.
So. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes.
On that note, please join me on Criticless. It is a cool app.
I feel about that.
It's way better than Rotten Tomato because it's ratings based off actual people who watch this stuff and don't get paid to do so. So highly recommend. Okay, so that's cool. John Carpenter's coming back before he dies.
That's
back
exciting.
to the. It is.
I
hope it's. Listen, I hope it's good, but I'm not holding my breath because Listen.
Listen.
I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. I like Sam Raimi.
Really good.
Drag Me to Hell is underrated. I think people just always associate Evil Dead. I think Drag Me to Hell is one of the good movies.
Oh my gosh, we agree.
Hey, there's agreement tonight, y'all.
That being said,
that's a good movie.
Granted, I know the studio probably had their hands deep within it. I was really disappointed with that Doctor Strange Mom movie, Multiverse of Madness, or as I like to call them, Multiverse of Badness. And I like Scott Derrickson too. I think Sinister is a really great horror movie. I love all his stuff.
Too.
I was really looking forward to him doing the sequel to it, actual horror movie. When I watched it and Sam Raimi, and I know again, studio probably has him by the neck. Either he's out of touch or the studio really had him by the neck for it. It did not hold up well with the little bits of Sam Raimi I saw. And people can argue with me that movie was awful. So I'm hoping that John Carpenter for this series got full reign to do John Carpenter instead of like, oh no, we really got to scale it back. We got to really attest to the modern day audience, which is only 1% really of the modern day audience. Like nobody cares about your fans from the 70s and 80s. We really got to talk about these Gen Zs and all these woke items and add them into stuff. So I'm hoping they actually like let him be John Carpenter and create instead of just like, oh, just slap his name on it and have him direct one episode. That's my rant.
No, yeah, you're totally right. Because
thank you.
We've already seen when they start messing around and start sticking their hands into all of these things. We've seen what happened with Star Wars and all of these things where it doesn't take the direction it's supposed to take because they don't let these directors do what they're good at, what made them actually great directors in the first place.
See, Mr. Chickle Trunk. Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I mean. I wouldn't work with Disney again.
Well, there's a lot of directors that don't want to work with Disney anymore because they have to be involved with everything and not let them be creative.
Mm-hmm. It's sad. It really sad, and it makes me feel bad for upcoming directors or kids that want to be directors and stuff. Studios have too much of their hand, and most of these studios don't unless they've worked with an IP from the ground up. They don't know what they're talking about. They are just going off of what they think will work instead of just letting people be creative and put stuff out on screen. I mean, look at One Piece. One Piece is a great example of adapting an IP series, but also look at, you guys like to talk to me, look at original IPs that have slowly come out. Now, not a lot, but horror tends to be the most where original IPs come out of. And there's, some bangers in there. Yeah. So I'm just on a rampage tonight. I don't know. I feel like fighting.
I like edgy Nadia. She's like...
She needs to come here more often.
I like her.
5 days without no sleep. That's what I feel bad for Ryan tomorrow. I gotta tame it down. Joker voice don't have any.
All right. Nothing on you. No, that means it's gonna be a good show tomorrow. A bunch of laughs and finally the girls are coming on top, and then the guys will have to quiver in fear because we have Nadia.
Watch me be quiet as a church mouse tomorrow.
No. We said tone it down. We didn't say be
Nadia,
quiet.
you need to get plenty of sleep tonight then.
Oh no sleep. I need to get no sleep. Max.
Yeah,
that's true.
Stay up.
Yeah.
We'll drink some Americano. You're good.
Yeah. I don't even know what we're talking about tomorrow. Probably more Star Wars.
I have no idea. Usually Ryan doesn't give us any topics. That's whatever happens.
Oh, that's great.
No, me. She's all.
I know Ryan well enough that
she's putting it all out there. She's we never know what we're talking about. We just show up and
then we just talk.
I can't remember.
And then it goes off the rails too.
Channel?
Wait, say that again, Nadia.
Can you swear on Ryan's channel? I can't remember.
You can definitely swear on Ryan's
channel. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be swearing it. I'm gonna get his stream taken down because I'm gonna be swearing in Arabic. And with
please swear in Arabic.
And just starts. So like, I only know the bad words anyway. That's all you teach, you know. My dad taught me is like, listen, if you're not gonna speak it fluently, I'm at least gonna tell you the bad words. You know, at least when people are calling you a sharmuta, I'm like, okay.
Oh, I know what that means.
I actually know what that means too.
Because it's very similar to the word in Spanish too, I think.
Oh, okay.
I used to work at a teaching hospital, and we had a lot of doctors from all over the world who would come and like do their residencies there. So I had a lot of doctors who spoke Arabic, and yeah, that's what they would tell me too. They're like, we don't have enough time to like teach you everything, but we're going to teach you all the bad words, because apparently that's what we do around here. So we would teach them all the bad words in Spanish, and they would teach us like in Arabic.
Yeah, so you know when people are talking shit about you. That's
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I know if I go and someone calls me that, I'm gonna be like, excuse me, and then there's gonna be a fight.
I am married to one of the most whitest guys on the face of the planet, but I'm Middle Eastern. So I told my husband, I was like, our kids are gonna learn Arabic, so when they know, so they'll know when my family's talking shit about them or not. They can be our little translator.
They're not gonna be no Sabo kids.
No. All right, so we have one last topic to talk about because I think we're over John Carpenter. I'm looking forward to it. I will check it out. Any horror TV show. What else we got?
I mean, obviously, I'll give it a chance.
All right, I put this as a weird topic for us to talk about. Goat Man.
Yes, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. So let me share the article. This has been great. No sleep.
Is it another movie from like A24? What studio is that?
No.
Oh,
no!
What?
The Legend of the
I
Goat
hadn't
Man.
even heard of this until you like sent around the article. I'm like,
Nadia,
that
now I'm
sounds
gonna
really
have
interesting.
nightmares.
So I guess there's a really haunted bridge in Texas. It's like the most haunted bridge, and it's haunted by Goatman.
Goatman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it inspired a low-budget horror movie about it that's actually under $20,000, which is pretty low. The film is about the legend of the Denton Goat Man.
Oh, Denton. Denton, Texas.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's creepy with the head and stuff. Why can't you make a movie about like werewolves? Why gotta be about goat people? You ever seen Chronicles of Narnia? They're nice. Little goat men with their little hooves. Right?
Mr. Tumnus?
Yeah.
Mr. Tumnus, yes.
Yeah. Why they gotta be about ripping people's faces off? It's like those people who did the Winnie the Pooh horror movie that is being released.
I wanted to see that.
That looks crazy. It looks so dumb. I still want to see the.
I want to see it too. I want to see. You know what the best thing is? It was announced. My sister, when she was pregnant, her nursery is all Winnie the Pooh, but she's like all Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
Everything Winnie the Pooh. It got released and announced, and I was like, ha! And I sent it to her right away. I was like, look at now. Now me and my nephew can actually have something relatable. Horror and Winnie the Pooh. I'm all over the board today. Yes, Winnie the Pooh.
That's creepy.
But yeah, I sent that to you because it's one, it's spooky season. 2, I didn't have much to send. And 3, Goatman. Oh, I thought it was weird.
It works, yeah. It's spooky season,
That
and also
weird.
those are very similar to like what we were talking about earlier about like
Satanic representation. Yeah. The Witch is a great movie.
Just said in chat, Moloch.
The Witch. I could probably just talk for hours about that movie and how good that movie is.
Oh, another thing we can relate. High five. High five, Lily.
In the chat, if you guys are not like into like horror movies, this is a movie that you need to watch. It's so good. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. I think it's my favorite movie.
Just leave me hanging, Lily.
The what? Oh,
yeah,
the wrong way.
I love The Witch. The Witch is great.
It's such a great movie. So
made me want to go get a black goat as a pet. I want goats. Like I want a little farm with some chickens and with some goats and I have my own goat milk that I can have. Not really into cows. I don't feel like I could take care of a cow.
It's because I don't know, for some reason they did it really, really well. I know a lot of people that watched it that said it's really boring. Like, I'm very surprised that you even like a movie like this, because I'm into like slasher, a lot of like gory stuff like that. But I'm saying this is like my top pick because it's basically none of those things.
Yeah.
It just messes with your mind so much that like finally when you get to like the end of it and everything starts to kind of come together, you're like, oh my gosh. it's fantastic. So if you guys haven't seen it and you want to like dip your toes into like scary movies, but also if you're into kind of like period pieces,
historic
period pieces, and then of course it's going to deal with obviously it's called The Witch, so there is going to be a lot of like occult stuff in there also, but it's very well done. They don't try to just get a scare out of you with like jump scares, because that annoys me in movies where they try to just jump scare you and go for the cheap scare and you're like, oh really? No, this builds up and it builds up and it builds up. It's just it's awesome.
That reminds me of another classic Halloween movie, The Witches. Not the remake with Anne Hathaway, the older one.
Yes.
Have you ever seen it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that one creeps me out as a kid, especially when like when they turn into different types of like witch. They're balding and they have like abstract face and stuff. Yeah, that's great. Not the remake. The remake's awful.
No, I never even saw the remake because I was like, how do you even like top the original? And Angelica,
I didn't see it either.
You don't.
Yeah. Let me tell you, you don't. Yeah,
you don't. No, you don't. I'm like, Angelica Houston is a queen, and I don't think that you can top her in that movie. So I never even gave it a chance.
What about Chick-fil-A? Listen, we don't talk about the Lord's chicken, okay? In vain, all right? All right.
Chick-fil-A cows.
Because I want goats. I don't want cows. I don't know where. Anyway, yeah, The Witches. That's actually Mags. That's a pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say it's as an adult. I don't think you would find it scary. As a kid, you would, but that's a good introduction, I think, for you to kind of into the Halloween movie.
My first introduction was The Shining, and I didn't have a really good experience then. So
I love that movie.
No, I did not like it.
Chris and I one year went as Shining costumes. He actually built a door that he had worn around his head.
That's so cool.
Break.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping you would say you went as the twins.
No,
kind of hoping you.
What a couple's cosplay, though.
I know he wouldn't wear a dress with me. That's okay.
Darn.
It's all right. My man, he likes to be a man. I'll give it to him. The Shiny, yeah. That what? To me, though, everybody says it's a Halloween movie or a horror movie. I find it more pleasant, I guess, to watch in the winter time because of the winter environment that it is. Yep. Yeah, I feel like it's more of there's a storm outside and you'll watch it, not Halloween. Halloween movies,
Christmas
I feel.
Movie. Just kidding.
I wouldn't even call it. I mean, kinda. I guess. I mean, I like the book, and I like the sequel movie. That was pretty done by Mike Flanagan. Again, so all right. So we didn't really talk about Goatman, but I just thought it was kind of cool.
That's fine.
Oh,
Max,
another
good Halloween movie for you, Halloween Town, from the Disney Channel.
Okay,
I never saw it.
That's a cute one.
Really? Yeah.
Never saw it.
No.
Now I do like Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Is that a Halloween movie? I didn't know that was a Halloween movie.
It's a zombie movie.
I wouldn't consider it a Halloween movie. It's more.
Oh, you mean
comedy.
Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah. Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are the same group.
Shaun of the Dead is the zombie one.
Okay. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is the cop one, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
But it's made by the same people, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sean Pegg.
Shaun of the Dead. That one was really hilarious. That's a good zombie movie.
I'm not big into zombie movies. I've realized too. I don't know.
There's some good zombie movies.
There are some really great zombie movies. It's just not my first pick. I really like ghost stories or fantasy horror, like creepy stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. What can I say? I don't like Paranormal Activity though. I don't like those type of movies. The ones with like look like they've been recorded on
found
camcorders.
footage or
the Blair Witch Project.
I like the Blair Witch. I just don't like anything that's come after it with found footage.
Well, because Paranormal Activity, I think the first one was good, and then everything else after that was pretty bad.
Yeah,
I only ever saw the first one.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine being dragged out of your bed like that?
No.
Oh my God. I'd be grabbing every rosary, throwing everything on it. But that's the thing. Like, listen, whoever's listening, listen. Try me, ghost. Try me. Because I would be throwing everything at it. I'd be holy water. I'd be like my crucifix, my rosary, saying all my Bible verses. I'll throw the Bible at it. Like, I'm a fighter. I'm not gonna just be dragged out of the hallway, just like thrown around. Like, listen, if you can lift Jabba the Hutt, myself, good luck, my friends.
You're not Jabba the Hutt.
You're not Jabba the Hutt, Nadia.
Listen, I embrace it. I enjoy it.
No.
Let me live my life. Jeez. You think I'm like the great? I think it's kind of snazzy.
What Nadia's telling us is that she's got this underworld dealings and everything else. She's really cool in the background. She knows people in those places.
You can call me Madam the Hutt. That's what you can call me. All right. On that note, I think I have annoyed all of you quite enough tonight.
What? You're
good.
This
is another good movie, Mags. If you haven't seen Ghostbusters.
Oh, I've seen Ghostbusters.
Then you've seen kind of horror movies ish.
I've comedy horror.
What is it called?
Yes,
Arsenic and Old Lace.
What is that?
With Cary Grant?
That's an old one.
That's an old one. Yeah. That's a good one. It might be silly in today's like horror entertainment phase, but it's really, really funny. And it's really, really good. So maybe I'm more like in the funny comedy side of the horror genre because I don't like being not in control of what is going on, and that annoys the crap out of me. So maybe that's why I just don't like it, mainly because I've been in scary situations myself and I just do not like watching it for entertainment. That's just me.
Fair enough. Okay.
But I don't mind watching people play like video games with horror elements or whatever it is in it, and I'm just like, because I think you can control your character. I don't know. I'm a weird person, so
that's fair. That's very fair. Someone also mentioned Little Shop of Horrors. That one's actually a good one too if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
that was kind of like that too. You always know what's going on, and it's not like scary, spooky. Like it's good. That one's.
I have seen Clue.
That's super funny.
Clue's fantastic.
And for me, I'm like totally the opposite of Mags. I like it because of the adrenaline that it gives you. I like that scary feeling. It's good.
As a kid, I've probably seen every Ernest Scared movie, as well as any of the Olsen twins Halloween movies.
Mm-hmm. I've probably seen those, but I don't remember. It's kind of one of those things.
All right.
Oh, Coraline too.
Coraline's good.
I'm waiting for the second to come out.
That one still freaks me out, and I'm like not a kid.
The buttons on the thing.
Yeah. Yes, and the actual book isn't even like, I read the book and it's like tiny, like super short. It's not as scary as they made it seem in the movie. The movie's really, really great. So whoever did like the screenplay or whatever, the writing for it, did a really great job. Like Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors of ever, and for me to say that is not shade on him. I guess he really was trying to make it like a kid's book, but the movie is so scary. I was just telling my niece the other day that I played that for them when they were little. I hadn't read the book yet, and I was like, "Oh, this says it's for kids." It's not for kids. They were scared for like a really long time. Yeah. Oops.
I like Neil Gaiman. I think he wrote a couple of books. I have some fantasy books.
He's a great writer.
I was gonna say something, but I completely freaking forgot.
It's okay.
I'm just going on no sleep. Chris and I right now are watching all of the Scream movies.
Ooh, okay.
Because we're recording an episode with a special guest this Sunday on Scream. Ooh. Chris has never seen any of them.
Is it Nev Campbell? Just kidding.
I wish. He hates every single one. The first one was kind of ruined for him because it's such an icon in pop culture that it's just like it didn't entertain him. But he absolutely hates every single one of them. We still have 5 and 6 to go before we record on Sunday, and I was like, it's okay, you can hold on, you'll get through it. But what made him excited was 7 is actually going to be directed and written by the same person who did Happy Death Day 1 and 2, which if anybody's if you like comedy, Mags, those are really good.
Okay.
Comedy horror.
Yeah.
It's basically like Groundhog's Day, but with a horror twist to it.
Okay.
It's really funny. He also did Freaky, I think, was another one.
That one was pretty decent too.
Yeah, that one is not bad. I wouldn't say it's as good as Happy Death Day 1 and 2, but they're hilarious. They're great. And he's doing Scream 7. So that should be interesting to see how that turns out. But he hates it, and he hates Courtney Cox's microbangs in Scream 3. Where she had them cut,
they're terrible.
Like here, like her forehead's like this big, and she had them like they're like spiked out like here. And I told him that's how I'm cutting my hair tomorrow.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, it's because I think probably the only Scream movie to take seriously is the first one. Everything after that was just kind of weird. They started bringing in like long lost family members and all kinds of weird
random
that you're like what? Oh no, it was actually the neighbor's dog's best friend's barber that did it, and they're connected to this person, and you're like, what? Oh, Final Destination.
Absolutely,
those are some of my favorite movies ever.
Pass. Hard pass. No,
those are so good.
No, can't do it. I've watched the first couple of them when they were no. And till this day, I will not drive behind something with like poles or something sticking up from it. Let the Gen Zs take it. I can't do it.
Apparently everybody in my city has seen those movies because every time there's like a truck that's carrying all kinds of stuff, no one's driving behind it. We're all like, nope, not today. That's why I like them, because they're crazy. It's like a different take on like the genre and death and things like that. It's crazy.
I think Saw got a lot of influence from that because it's basically figuring out how to kill people in weird ways. The crazier and crazier they have gotten. They released one recently too, I think, or one is supposed to come out this year. And
Saw?
No. Saw
Final Destination?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I know they just released another Saw movie that didn't do so well.
I heard it was actually pretty good though. Like I wanted to go see it.
I didn't hear any. I just heard it just didn't do so well in the box office and just didn't do so well. All right, I guess we'll. Mags, did you? Oh, you're back, Mags.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had some coughing going on.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. It is of the hour, past the hour, and I have some fish to go cook. So,
oh my god!
I think I'm gonna change my costume for the next time we're meeting. I think I'm gonna have to change it up a little bit.
As long as it's aquatic themed, we'll be okay.
Yeah, maybe be a mermaid.
Yeah, I was gonna say be a mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, be a mermaid. Embrace
with
it.
gills and everything.
Yes. Oh, Leprechaun in the Hood.
Those movies are so unhinged, but they're funny and good.
They're so hilarious. It's too
they're so funny.
Or Freddy versus Jason.
Cinematic
perfection.
That one was actually pretty good too. I liked it.
I want to thank everybody to joining us on our crazy adventures of erotic, exotic. What is it? Aquatic, erotic, exotic.
Something like that.
Thank you to the chat who's interacted with us. I hope everyone had a good time. I'm gonna let everybody. Lily, go ahead. Tell people where they can find you.
So basically, I'm everywhere that Nomi is.
That is true.
That is true. So let me explain. Just kidding. So Fridays, we're actually gonna do Friday Night's Royal Rumble on Legion Ryan's channel. All the information is gonna be on our Twitters too. And then Monday, we do a Game of Thrones stream. So we're just kind of talking about Game of Thrones and going through all of the episodes. If you guys want to see us descend slowly into madness with how terrible the show gets, definitely go check it out. And then, of course, every 2 weeks, I'm here with these beautiful, lovely ladies. So check us out for some random crazy things that'll probably happen.
About fish dick and stuff. All right, Mags.
Yeah.
Take us. Tell people who you are, where they can find you.
I am Magitech Mags. Of course, I feel like I'm everywhere all at once, as usual. But you can see me, you can find me at all of my links down below, which is at Twitter, YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Kick, and all of that jazz. I am currently at 499 subscribers. so
Someone go subscribe.
Somebody go now, right now, in
right
the
now,
chat.
so we can get it live.
Or I will fight you. Go right now.
You don't want to fight with Nadia tonight, no?
Yes,
No.
right now and subscribe.
Someone
to the
go
channel
do
right
it right now.
But you can
Do it.
But
Do
when
it.
you guys do subscribe to anybody here, especially on YouTube, make sure you watch a video after you subscribe that seems to seal your subscription. That's why sometimes people will see fluctuations in their subscriptions where it's like, oh, you're $4.99 here, but then you're $4.97 here. It's because YouTube is trying to figure out if you are a bot or not. So make sure when you do subscribe to people that you kind of watch a video a little bit, or at least, it gives them a view too. That helps. But make sure you do that to seal your subscription. I don't know why YouTube is wacky. So just make sure you do stuff like that. But yes, make sure you subscribe to all of these lovely ladies here. You can find me usually on Friday Night Royal Rumble, although I will try to be there tomorrow night.
Are you going to be with us too?
I'm going to try to be there tomorrow night. So
let's
maybe
take these boys down.
It'll be mostly girls versus boys.
Yes, we have to outnumber
Max, you hit 500. You hit 500.
Congrats, Mags.
Thank you guys. But yes, you can find me on Friday Night Royal Rumble, hanging out with these lovely ladies, and of course the boys. And you can usually find me hanging out with the Comics Division crew on Mondays, either Mondays, Wednesdays, or Thursday nights, depending on what my flexibility or availability is. And then you can also find me on Toxic Femininity on Mondays on Midnight's Edge. So I am hopefully going to work on an actual schedule so I can start game streaming again.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that. But anyways, thank you guys for the 500.
Yay! Me too. That's exciting.
Thank you guys for being here.
Know me. They can find you where Lily is, right? Go ahead.
Yeah,
and then some.
Yes. This is friends. But yeah, I'm always on Twitter, and whenever I'm going to be on a show, that's where you can find me retweeting things. We've mentioned this plenty of times before, but I'll say it again. I'll be on Friday Night Royal Rumble with Legion Ryan. Hopefully Mags will join us. Lily will always be there. Nadia is our special guest tomorrow. And then after Friday Night Royal Rumble, I will be on Abyssal Musings with Samuel the Infamous and Larry Knight. Saturday, I might be on Screaming Into the Void. And then Monday, a Game of Thrones stream. And then Wednesday, I will be on Late Night with JT. Talking about
me and you too. Werewolves?
Yeah, we're talking about werewolves.
Yeah. All right.
Yep, that's my week.
Jesus, you all are
Busy
too
week.
busy, man. You guys are so busy. Dr. Rachel, can they find you? You have a video premiering tomorrow, right?
I do. So even though I will not be on Friday night's Royal Rumble, unlike
Dang
pretty
it.
much everyone else here, I
Yeah,
trust
that's
everyone. I trust all these wonderful ladies to handle it and take down the men. I'm always on Twitter. I'm sometimes on Instagram promoting my channel, but you can see me see my art channel called Adeline Crafting. I actually finally have a video premiering tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern time. It's all about this art project I did for a friend. It's Metroid themed. So if anyone's into Metroid games, I based it mostly on Metroid Prime. So if you're into that, please give it a watch. I am very far away from 500 subs, but
Let's get her to 500
please.
Let's
I
do
see the
it.
500 push
Even,
for
like,
everybody.
If you
Yes.
can get me to even like 250, I'll be happy. I've been stuck at like 220 for ages. But yeah, I love making all kinds of art, cosplay stuff, props, anything like that. Put on the channel. I'm also going to be, hopefully it'll be out in time for Halloween, but I want to do something nice and spooky for Halloween spooky season. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure it out. So
Cool.
Stay tuned.
Sweet. That's
Yeah. I also want to thank our mods, especially Mr. Tickle Trunk. Thank you for keeping us up to date and putting all our links in the chat and being very interactive and nice. Yes.
Thank you for doing your
I'm
job.
running on no sleep. So
Thank you, chat.
you can
Thank
find
you. Yes.
yes. Thank you to chat, Mr. Tickle. You whatever. Okay. You can find me on Twitter, Nerd Dollface. You can also, as I said before, I am player one of the Inside All Day podcast, which hopefully you are watching from, or you're watching from Nomi's channel. But please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get all future D&D or Dames and Dorks episodes. I will be on Friday Night Rumble tomorrow, apparently. So thank you for the reminder, ladies. I was like, oh, shoot. And then I will be recording a episode on Scream with a special guest that will release next Wednesday. I'll also be on JT's Late Night with Cap about werewolves. And then I'm also on the Cannolis next Friday as well with Chris on the Cannoli Connection.
Yay.
Yeah, so much going. Our next episode is going to be pretty fun. So I hope everybody tunes in. Everybody will be in costume and we have a special guest. Cosmetics and comics. Comics and cosmetics. Danny, who I absolutely adore. She's fantastic. So, and I will be on her channel on the 22nd as well, dressed up. So on that note, I hope everyone has a spectacular night and we will see you all in 2 weeks. It took me a second there to go. What am I supposed to do? Oh, yes. Okay, hold on.
We're still waving.
Somehow,
Keep waving.
awkward waving.
Keep waving, y'all.